Have you ever felt totally stuck in a rut? Well, let's dive right into this explainer because today we're pulling some absolutely incredible insights from a text called 12 Steps to a Good Life. We're going to focus on a truly fascinating, honestly kind of mind-blowing concept, bypassing your brain's primal resistance to change using what are called stupidly small mini habits. Seriously, this is going to completely change how you look at your daily routines. Because look, we all know that crushing feeling of a failed New Year's resolution, right? You start out so hyped, you map out this massive life overhaul, and 3 weeks later, you're literally right back where you started. But what if the problem isn't that you're lazy? What if it's not a lack of discipline? What if the actual problem is that your brain is just way too efficient? Our source material argues exactly that. Our brains are hardwired to completely reject massive, sudden changes because, well, they just require too much energy.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll hit the willpower trap, meet the 800-pound gorilla, discover the stupidly small hack, build your mini habits, and finally, defeat goal creep. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with part 1, the willpower trap. It's time to tear down that exhausting just try harder myth we've all been fed.
Society constantly tells us to rely on willpower, just push through the pain. But the reality, willpower is notoriously short-lived. Think of it like a battery on your phone. It drains every single time you make a decision or resist a temptation. Eventually, that battery dies. And when it hits zero, our deeper, unconscious, heavily ingrained habits just completely take over the steering wheel.
This text directly challenges the 99% of people who believe endless effort is the only way forward. As the source explicitly states, trying harder is a false reality. It basically shackles you to endless effort with practically zero success. Keep doing the same exhausting things and you're just going to burn out. We absolutely need a new strategy here. Which brings us to part 2, the 800-pound gorilla. Let's look at what we're actually up against. I literally love this analogy from the text. Imagine you're riding on the shoulders of a massive 800-pound gorilla. You are the conscious mind, and that gorilla, that's your unconscious. You can make all the grand commitments you want. You can shout, "Go left," all day long, but absolutely nothing changes until that heavily guarded fortress of a gorilla decides it actually wants to go left. The gorilla goes exactly where it wants to go. Now, you gotta understand, the gorilla isn't evil. Not at all. It's simply trying to protect you. It operates super efficiently to conserve energy, relying on deep, hard-to-change neural pathways. It seeks immediate comfort and safety. So when you try to force a brutal new workout routine, the gorilla senses a major threat to its comfort. It hits the panic button, triggering fear, procrastination, and major resistance. And let's be real, you simply cannot win a wrestling match with an 800-pound gorilla. Moving to part 3, the stupidly small hack. The crucial point here is figuring out how to sneak past this gorilla without waking it up. If we can't fight it, we gotta outsmart it. And the answer is making your new habit stupidly small. I mean, ridiculously small. Instead of committing to an hour at the gym, which absolutely terrifies the gorilla, commit to doing exactly 1 push-up. That's it. Literally just 1 single push-up. Or let's say you want to eat healthier. Instead of some radical diet overhaul where you throw out your entire pantry, commit to eating exactly 1 baby carrot a day. Just 1. Maybe you want to write a book. The author of our source text actually wrote an 800-page volume using this method. His daily commitment wasn't to bang out a whole chapter. Nope. It was simply to write or research for just 3 minutes. 3 minutes. By leaning into the sheer absurdity of these tiny tasks, we're basically building a Trojan horse. The gorilla, your unconscious mind, doesn't see 1 push-up or eating a single carrot as a threat. It doesn't require massive energy or willpower, so it doesn't trigger your threat detection system at all. Because these tasks are so tiny, they slip right under the radar of your unconscious mind's fear and procrastination. This effortlessly builds momentum and entirely bypasses the primal resistance that usually stops you in your tracks. Okay, part 4. Building your mini habits. How do we actually take this brilliant hack and make it a daily reality? The text gives us an incredibly simple playbook. First, pick just 2 to 4 core goals. Don't overwhelm yourself. Second, shrink them down to ridiculous proportions, like our 1 push-up. Third, pick a habit cue. This is absolutely vital. Attach your stupidly small habit to something you already do every day. So, tell yourself, right after I brush my teeth, I'll drop and do 1 push-up. The teeth brushing is your cue. Finally, monitor and celebrate your success. Put a big check mark on a calendar and feel good about it. You might be sitting there thinking, I'm never going to get fit doing one single push-up. But here is the secret magic action. Inspires effort. Once you eliminate the friction of just starting, momentum completely takes over. You get down on the floor for your one push-up, and suddenly your brain goes, well, I'm already down here. Might as well do 5, maybe 10. You naturally do more. But, and this is key, you are only ever obligated to do the minimum. You're mentally free.
Finally, part 5, defeating goal creep. We need to build up a defense against the sneaky trap that tries to ruin this perfect setup.
Seriously, beware of this trap called goal creep. It happens when you do your one push-up, end up doing 20 for a few days in a row, and suddenly your brain whispers, okay, our new daily minimum is 20 push-ups. Do not fall for this. If you raise your daily expectation, boom, you've just woken up the 800-pound gorilla. The task feels hard again, and I guarantee the procrastination will return. So the golden rule is never, ever cheat the minimum. You must be genuinely happy with your ridiculous minimum every single day. Even if it's literally 11:59 p.m., you're dead tired, and you roll out of bed to do one single push-up before going to sleep, remind yourself that is a massive victory. Why? Because simply maintaining that habit is what creates and strengthens the neural pathway in your brain. The big takeaway here is that consistency always matters way more than quantity. A tiny 1% improvement done every single day will literally rewire your brain over time. It will always be some exhausting 100% effort that you end up abandoning after a week because you totally burned out your willpower battery. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Stop waiting for some perfect, magical surge of motivation that might never come. You know exactly how to bypass your gorilla now. So what is the one stupidly small thing you can go do right now? Is it doing one stretch, washing one single dish? Seriously, go do it right now and start outsmarting your brain today.